There's so much good music going on around here.
Let's hear from our studio audience now.
Yes. You're going to want to see that.
That is some groovy intro music.
Add it to the list.
Add it to the list. It's a running tab. Leave us a voicemail at 970-579-0843.
Welcome to Sound On Podcast. Here at Sound On, we bring you all of your Boulder County music news, who's playing where and when. We also bring you exclusive artist interviews, jam sessions, album releases, and more. If you're an artist or venue and would like to have your show featured, email us at info@soundonpodcast.com. Good morning, Tim.
Good morning, Dave. How you feeling?
I'm doing really well. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well, too.
Great.
Wired on caffeine.
Yeah,
just
me
like,
too.
Whoa.
That's probably why I'm doing so well, but
we're moving.
I'll go with it.
Man, well, I think we got Mad Dog Friedman here today, and I think he's going to match our ampedness.
We're feeding him caffeine backstage as we speak right now, intravenously.
Oh, he's going to be ready for it. We've got an IV. We're going to hear some tunes from him and talk to him about the blues. I'm looking forward to it.
Me too. Let's get into our music calendar today. February 13th at Shoes and Brews, the open mic tonight. At 300 Suns, also the Drop In Acoustic Jam with Tim. And at Beyond the Mountain, it's Bluegrass Pick at 5 p.m.
Oh, yeah, Thursday, February 14th, and Valentine's Day, if that's your kind of thing. At the Laughing Goat, we've got Paper Moonshine at 8 p.m. At License Number 1, George Nelson Band will be playing at 9 p.m. The 3-Chair Jam with Mr. Andy Eppler will be happening at the Longmont Public House at 6 p.m. Over at St. Vrain Cidery, Beni Brosh is playing at 6 p.m. And at the Tasty Weasel, Honky Tonk Happy Hour with Adam Lopez.
On Friday the 15th at Longtucky Spirits, Colin Robison is at 7 p.m. At Cellars, Oliver Jacobson is at 6:30 p.m. Highway Robbery is at Longmont Moose Lodge at 7:30 p.m. And at Dicken's Opera House, Journey Girls and the Revenant at 7 p.m.
And over at the Tasty Weasel, we've got Famous Men at 5 p.m. Tyler Sanford and the Coalition at 5 p.m. at the Laughing Goat. Upslope Brewing, we got Jay Martin at 6 p.m. Back at License Number 1 in Boulder, Voodoo Lily will be playing at 9 p.m. And the Adam Lopez Duo will be playing 7:30 at the Oscar Blues Tap Room.
On Saturday the 16th at the Laughing Goat, it's Women in Song featuring Carolyn Hunter, Allie Chipkin, Vonnie Kyle, and Brianna Kaka at 8 p.m. At Oscar Blues Boulder, it's Hayden Wofford and the High Beams at 8 p.m. At License Number 1, Banshee Tree is at 9 p.m. And the Tough Enoughs are at Danick's Gun Barrel Corner Bar at 7:30 p.m.
And over at the No Name Bar, we've got Liv Phoenix and Blooming Method at 8:30 p.m. At Bootstrap Longmont, we got UA at 6 p.m. Max McKee will be playing the Speakeasy at 8:30. John McKay will be over at La Vita Bella at 7 p.m. The Delta Sonics will be at Tasty Weasel at 4:30. And at Oscar Blues Longmont, we've got Eddie Turner and Trouble featuring David Brenowitz on drums, who I hear is a killer player.
Yeah, he's one of my friends, and he is a killer drummer.
Nice.
Highly recommended.
Nice. That's at 8:30.
Yeah. And moving on to Sunday the 17th, Bo DePenna is at St. Vrain Cidery at 4 p.m. At the Tasty Weasel, David Booker is at 3 p.m. At Mountain Sun, the Al Capones are at 9 p.m. And at the Laughing Goat, Haley Gowland is at 9:30 p.m.
Down to Monday, February 18th at Southern Sun Pub, we've got the Rinny Kin at 10 p.m. At License Number 1, we've got the open mic hosted by our friends Fox Feather at 7:30 p.m. Down to Tuesday, February 19th at Oscar Blues Boulder, open stage with Danny Schaefer at 7:30 p.m. And at Gross and Bar, we've got the open mic with Andy Eppler at 6 p.m.
Yeah, and that does it for the music calendar for the week. Mr. Mad Dog Friedman is here with his tune, Harmonica Cadillac. Take it away, Mad Dog.
Got something, baby, your shoulder like. Hey, got something, baby, your shoulder like. Hey, got something, mama, your shoulder like. Ain't nothing but harmonica Cadillac. Tell your mama now, won't be gone too long. Yeah, mama now won't be gone too long. Yeah, mama now won't be gone too long. Just come around when you hear my horn. Born from water bed and back. Yeah, born from water bed and back. Yeah, born from water bed and back. Won't go so far, we'll never come back. Put the cruise on, baby, hopping back. Yeah, cruise on, mama, hopping back. Yeah, cruise on, baby, hopping back. I'll show something, honey, your shoulder like. Yeah, got something, baby, your shoulder like. Yeah, got something, honey, your shoulder like. Yeah, got something, honey, your shoulder like. Ain't nothing but harmonica Cadillac.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes. That is Mr. Mad Dog Friedman of Mad Dog Blues with us here in the studio today.
Starting out performing his tune Harmonica Cadillac.
It's so great to be here.
Yeah, man. How many tunes do you do just by yourself like that?
I've got a CD out.
Awesome.
I think there's maybe 10, 15.
I feel like you don't hear a ton of solo harmonica stuff.
Yeah, there's probably a reason for that.
I don't know, though.
I enjoyed it, man.
It's so groovy.
There's 2 or 3 more solo CDs out there in the world that I've heard, and they're all really great. But it takes a certain style of harmonica to go solo, and it's not the style that a lot of people play. It's more of a country blues style than a Chicago style.
Sure.
Yeah, you can like really feel the pulse in the song,
Yeah.
even when you're not playing. There's just something real driving to it. When did you get started with the harmonica?
Well, that's a good song to talk about then. I first started playing harmonica when I was like 15. And my parents didn't really want me playing around the house. So I used to walk and play and walk. And, you know, it worked out pretty good because, you know, I'd play my harmonica and next thing you know, I'd be on the other side of town. And so I started calling it my harmonica Cadillac. And I was a pretty happy 15-year-old and everything with all that. And I was listening to people like Sonny Boy Williams and stuff and really getting into it. And then I started dating, or wanting to date. And, you know, when you go up to a girl's house with your harmonica Cadillac, you got some explaining to do. So that's why I wrote that song.
Wait, you're saying the harmonica didn't help you get the ladies?
Well, the harmonica helped. I mean, at least I had some way to get around. I was better than the normal walking fool.
What about when you got a real car and you started cruising around? How did music kind of bloom for you and art bloom for you then as you started to get older?
I really didn't start playing professionally. I did a few gigs in college, but I didn't start playing professionally until I got out to Colorado in 1974. And my first band I had in Colorado was called King Comfort, and it started out as a 5-piece band and went down to a duo, and we did a lot of country blues all over the state. And I've been in I don't know how many bands since, and how many stages since, and how many places I've played since. But it always comes back to the country blues for me some. And with Mad Dog Blues, we're really taking it back even a little further than that. We're going back to the roots of country blues, the roots of bluegrass, the roots of country. We're going back to when music was people sitting around in their areas playing, and it didn't matter what color you were. And then sometime after that, the record companies came in, and the radio stations came in, and society came in, and it was all segregated. Mm-hmm. And that's when blues started. That's when bluegrass started. That's when country started. And we're going back before they had those names and those marketing channels, and trying to get the juice from that and bring it to today and add it to where we're at, which is Colorado Jam.
Mm-hmm.
Did it start like that, or is it a consequence of the members that are in the band now?
You know, I've been in the business for a long time. This is the first band that really I had a vision for. And it's the first band that since 1970 that I put together as a leader of, so that I would be able to shape it toward that vision.
Mm-hmm. What's the lineup of this band like?
Well, it's myself, and then Sean Benight plays acoustic guitar. We have Steve Dorsum on guitar and vocals as well, and then we have Clark Chancellor on stand-up bass, and we have Jeff Becker on mandolin. And for Sunday, we'll have Riley Ann on fiddle and sax and singing some, and we also will have Mark Kazarowski.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm saying his name right, but I've played with him for years, and we always called him Mark K. But he's a longtime Lafayette musician, and used to play with Jeff and I in a band called Blame the Dog about 10, 15 years ago. So, and so it's Jeff and Steve won't be at it, but we, with Riley Ann and Mark, we're very excited about that lineup too, and we've done that lineup before. So it's the Mad Dog Blues experience. Every time you come, you're going to have a different experience.
That's cool. And there's a lot of blues that's pretty improvisational. Does that work? Is there a lot of in the moment stuff happening at your shows?
Oh, we like to do a lot of jamming, and it's always fresh. It's we get together and practice about once a week, but we don't tie things down so much that it can't be fluid. And so haven't done any sky blues with this band yet, but it's coming down the pipe sometime. But
I've heard about what that is, but what is the sky blues?
That's from Booker White, and he released an album record called Sky Blues back, I don't know, must have been the 70s, and he called them Sky Blues because he pulled them out of the sky. And there's a tradition in country blues to just start a song and just play in the moment, and the words will come to you. And quite often they're words out of the country blues kind of genre of words that go over and over, and show up in different songs, and Taj Mahal's a master of that. And a lot of times it's stuff that just comes to you. 12-bar blues especially slow 12-bar blues is a wonderful form to freestyle out of. Even an old guy like me can do it because it's nice and slow. I mean, you do a line, and then you have a repeat line, so you have all that time to think of your next rhyming line. Mm-hmm. So there's a tradition there, and I've got some songs that we do that have been made up on the spot that are on. There's one on the CD we just released. So
nice.
Cool. Yeah.
What's that tune called?
That tune is called "It's Raining on My Chickens."
That's one we talked about you guys playing. You want to play it?
Yeah, we'll play that.
All right.
So this song I was playing with Sam Gillis. That was called Blue Lightning, and that CD did win the Colorado Blues Society competition, and was in the contest in Memphis this year. And we were at East Simpson Coffee House, and a friend of mine. We asked the crowd. We asked the crowd for a line so we could make up a song, and they threw out the line, "It's raining on my chickens," because there was a big rainstorm just coming down right then. And so this is what happened from it. It's raining on my chicken. Ain't gonna get no eggs today. It's raining on them chicken. Ain't gonna get no eggs today. Ain't seen the sunshine, baby, since you went away. Yeah, someone let the dog out now. Dog's all full of mud. Someone let the dog out. Dog's all full of mud. My mind's a mess now, baby. And it's you I'm thinking of. Raining on them chicken. Ain't gonna get no eggs tonight. Raining on my chicken. Ain't gonna get no eggs tonight. Ain't had no good loving, baby, since we had that fight.
Nice.
Raining on my chickens from Mad Dog Blues with Sean Benight playing some acoustic guitar over there. Yeah. That's off the new record.
It's off the new record. And the real joy of the new record was what a surprise it was. I mean, we were just talking about this before the show, how things come together so fast. It was our fourth gig. We were on the radio. We were hoping, like, okay, maybe we'll get, like, something we can use for a demo out of this. We got 8 tracks. And it's a real testament to the people I'm playing with, and a real testament to the songwriting of the people I'm playing with, because Sean writes some great songs, and Steve writes some great songs, and Jeff writes some great songs, and it's really the thing that makes the band special, I think, is the songwriting.
I noticed that when I went to your website that you have quite a bit of content on there. You've got quite a few albums, quite a bit. What's kind of your philosophy behind that?
There is no philosophy behind it. It's just kind of a sick obsession of mine, I guess. I like to make music, and I like to record, and I kind of go all different places with it, and there's a lot of it out there on shop. If you go to Mad Dog Friedman on Spotify, you'll see a lot of stuff that I put out, that I produced, and but you won't find on any of the bands. So I do a lot of recording, and I play with a lot of different bands too. I like doing a lot of different styles. I don't know. It's what I live for, and it's a big part of my life, and I've been very into a lot of the albums are of healing music and psychoactive music, which has been an experimentation area of mine for a while here. And I don't think a lot of people listen to them, but it's nice to have them out there. I think a lot of it is a lot of that music is a real gift to be able to have it come through you. So I like to leave it out there in a way that people can get to it and listen to it.
So see, there is a philosophy to it.
You worked at it.
Yeah, well, my philosophy about music in general is all about community connection and healing. I think that's what music does for me, and that's what attracts me to music, and that's what I like about music.
Yeah, I agree with you there. You're into other art too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, what other art do you do?
Well, I do some visual art, mainly digital art, and that's been kicking butt lately with this series I have called Visual Mantras. I have 22 paintings I've done that are tuned to specific healing intent, and they also have original music paired to them. So they're at a gallery now in Thornton called the Thornton Art and Cultural Center, and anybody can go see them from noon to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday through March, and each one of them has a little tag on it. It tells about the painting and the healing intent. But there's a QR code. If you scan it, it takes you right to the music, and you can work with the piece. Each piece is designed. They're called visual mantras for a reason. They tend to work, be very meditative, and people work with them. And then when you work with them, there's music that's curated for that you can listen to while you do it.
Oh, interesting. So, how did you get into that?
It's just experimentation, and it's just, I don't know, the path. You walk along the path, and the path reveals itself.
Definitely.
I didn't know what I was doing, in other words.
None of us do.
That's the thing. You talked about using music to heal. You've got this program called Harmonicas for Health. Tell us a bit about what you're doing with Harmonicas for Health.
Harmonicas for Health is a program for seniors. I forget the exact statistics, but when you're in your 50s, you start losing lung capacity. Mm-hmm. And by the time you're in your 60s and 70s, there's a significant decrease in lung capacity for almost everybody. And the less you breathe, the less air you get, the more it slows you down, the more tired you feel. A lot of people my age, they go to bed at 9, 10 o'clock at night. It's because they're tired. So Harmonics for Health is designed with respiratory therapy, so helping people that are on oxygen and are in respiratory therapy as a way to improve, but also in general for elders that looking for a fun wellness activity. So it's a wellness class. I teach them how to have a good time playing harmonica 20 minutes a day. And if they do that, they breathe better and they feel better. So I'm working on a grant to try to quantify some of that and get some proof that it's working and set up some more programs. And if that goes through, I'll be looking for some apprentices on that program too, because we hope to grow it and spread it around.
Wow. Yeah, that's great. I love that you've got so many irons in the fire as far as, just putting things out there. I mean, as far as art goes, that's great. You spent some time out in Memphis, right?
I just got back from Memphis last week, yeah.
How was it?
Oh, it was amazing. It's always amazing. Colorado was well represented. All the acts from Colorado did really well and sounded fantastic. And all the acts from the Colorado Blues Society made the semifinals. Oh. And Scott Hackler, Shaq, old friend of mine, used to play in the band I was with called Papa Juke. He made the finals.
That's awesome.
And he just, I don't know, when you get to the finals, you really can't guess the judges or anything, but he did a great set, and he looked as good as any other act in Memphis, so he made us pretty proud. So and then I've been going to Memphis for that was my 4th year, so it's become a pilgrimage to me, like song school.
Mm-hmm.
And my wintertime one, and got to see a lot of great old friends and hear just amazing music for 12, 18 hours a day, and got to hear all the country blues I wanted to hear, which is hard to do from Colorado.
Yeah, no doubt. Did you put on some miles walking around?
Yeah, because you don't do cars down there. That's great. So I stayed at the Holiday Inn in Memphis, right down off Bill Street. So it was like I walked about 5 miles a day.
Nice.
Yeah.
What did you bring back from that, back to Colorado as far as inspiration?
Oh, from Memphis this year? Well, last year, the inspiration for Mad Dog Blues is what I got back. I'd heard
That's pretty big.
I'd heard a guy from Croatia who lived in New York play with a stand-up bass player. And I thought they were fantastic, and I bought their CD. I came back, and I got really sick. I got the flu, and I was just listening to that CD in a fever pitch. And there was parts of it where, he played guitar and harmonica on a rack, but there's parts of it where he really wasn't playing guitar. It was just harmonica and stand-up bass. So the following spring in March, I competed at the Colorado IBC with just a stand-up bass player, a great old friend of mine, Dirk Dixon. And I just loved the sound so much that even though Dirk didn't want to go on and do some stuff with the band, I found Clark. And Clark was all into doing the acoustic thing, and basically built the band up around that sound. So the whole idea of an acoustic string band came to me from my Memphis experience. I can't say any of that happened this year, except that I did have some personal realizations about blues and songwriting. I was very inspired by Shaq, and I've got a new song I just wrote. Came to me down there, all in one piece, which is very rare. So.
Awesome. You want to play another one for us?
Sure. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Please, mister, help me. Help me off the ground. I just need a hand so I can leave this old town. Not really homeless. Boulder's always been my home. I wouldn't need to leave if you leave me alone. 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 Alone is my home. Alone is my home. Hey, Mr. Policeman, don't you throw me in jail. We both know ain't nobody around here to go my bail. Like that black cat up the old hickory tree. I don't want no fight. Just need you leave me be. Leave me alone. 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 Alone is my home. Alone is my home. I'm just a man that's already gone. I wouldn't need to go nowhere if you'd leave me alone. I'm just a man that wants to live free. If you can't help me out, won't you please leave me be? Leave me alone. 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 Alone is my home. Alone is my home. Leave me alone. 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 Alone is my home.
Yeah.
Leave me alone.
So over all the years of you playing, and now as this younger generation of players start to come in, what do you see as far as like an evolution, or what do you see the difference being in seeing these younger guys come in, like myself?
It's a different scene. I play with a band called Versus Inevitable, and they're all younger. The leader's a singer-songwriter in his 30s, and most of the people are younger. And what I'm seeing, and we do all the clubs that have younger audiences too. So what I'm seeing is a lot of bands are mixing a lot of stuff up. There's a lot of fusion, a lot of different styles being blended together. And then looking across it, there's something in common is they all jam, at least on that scene. They all jam. So those are the two things I'm seeing that I can say for sure. I mean, it seems like in the young world, there's all kinds of fusion and different tastes, and there's electronic, and there's all these other things getting blended together. It's very, very cool. It reminds me of the 60s in a bit. kind of what's going on musically, is that, you know, whatever you find inspiration in, you bring it to yourself. And we have, you know, in a lot of ways it's similar. In the 60s, like, we cracked open all the record industry, so they started picking up people like, you know, Jimi Hendrix and, you know, Grateful Dead and innovators. Now, anybody can innovate. There's no restrictions on you. And I think that's a good piece of what's driving the younger people, is that there are no rules. There are no 3-minute songs. There are no anything that you have to worry about except expressing yourself.
Yeah, with the internet, the term outside of the box is just gone. There is no box.
There is no box.
Yeah.
And what does that mean for you? What the lack of rules and the no box, what does that make you want to create next?
It's great freedom. I mean, you can create whatever you want to. I just try to open myself to what the universe gives me in the moment. That's the way I approach my music, and I play from the heart. So I think that's just as viable now as it was then when I first started. I think perhaps it's more viable now than it was when I first started. So I'm welcoming the changes and the openness. And I've always loved that music. All throughout the music I've always loved have been the people that have done the fusions, that have done the interesting things. You know, I was always attracted to Traffic because of the jazz influence on them, and I loved John Mayall's Turning Point because it you know, he took playing with Jimmy Page and Eric Clapton. What did he do next? And he did the next thing, and he did it very well in a very jazzy kind of way. And I mean, the whole fusion movement in jazz was something that kind of came and went. But one of my favorite bands in the past, is one that mixed up more than anything, was Incredible String Band. And I don't know if a lot of people nowadays know them, but they were the first world folk, psychedelic folk band.
Wow.
They brought psychedelic and world music into folk music.
Nice.
Yeah.
Not familiar, but I probably will be now.
Yeah.
Over all the years of playing, what's been your favorite moment?
Oh, I've been fortunate to really have some great connections. I have to say my favorite moment happened when I went to St. Louis to see Sugar Blue, who's my favorite harmonica player in the world. And I ended up getting to just jam with him, just me and him on a harmonica together.
Awesome.
And then when we got done, he turned to me and said, "I wish I had that on record."
Wow.
And I was like, "Oh my God."
Damn.
So that's up there, yeah.
Wow.
But I got to play with Incredible String Band down at Larimer Lounge once, too.
Realized some dreams.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And I got to play with Luther Johnson from Muddy Waters. He came up to my cabin, stayed with us back in the 70s. And so I've had some real chances to live my dream, and I've been very fortunate in having the opportunity to meet the people that I've really admired, and in some cases get to play with them too. So.
Is there like a memorable lesson from playing with those players? Is there one constant thing that sticks with you after playing with those players you've admired for a long time?
Well, with Sugar Blue, I mean, he continues to inspire me. Yeah, Sugar said something. I remember getting on Facebook and talking with Sugar about playing that, and I think I'd put a CD out, and he was giving me some verbiage for the CD cover and stuff, and I said, "Man, I sure love playing with you in St. Louis for a little while." And he said, "Yeah, that was great," but he said, "You know, you're never any better than the note you're playing." So.
I think we'll end it on that.
That's perfect.
Mad Dog Friedman of Mad Dog Blues. You want to play one more and play us out?
Sure.
Awesome.
It's a little love song for America. Where's my hat? But I'm all full of hope. You loose chain, baby. Do me no good no more. Fry my soul. In your new nuclear fusion. Now ride your E-way. Right out the door. Yeah, the sky's burning. And the sea's just rising. Gonna get my hat. Lord, get out of this town. Caesar steamer. And the earth's just a quaking. I'm gonna plant my dream in what's left of the ground. Yeah, follow the prince. My feet are making don't know where I've been, but I'm going home. You may think I'm dreaming, but I'm just dreaming walking. You may think I'm going, but